Udhayanidhi Stalin, Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister, has reached Karur. These are images on your screens. He is flanked there by Mas Subramanian as well as by Anbil Mahesh, ministers who've been there from last night. You remember, of course, that Anbil Mahesh was extremely emotional, broke down last night after meeting with so many of those families. Understandable, because, you know, you get numb seeing those images of parents carrying their dead children out in the hospital, asking for some sort of accountability, saying, what did we do wrong? How did we lose our children in this manner? The Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin has come in just a few hours after Chief Minister Stalin, who rushed to Karur late last night to immediately take stock of the situation. So the government, top ministers, leaders are there to track the situation as well at this point. So Udhayanidhi Stalin is currently also at the hospital in Karur. There's a messaging going across from the government there that we will do everything we can to help those in need currently, to ensure all necessary rescue and relief efforts are taken up at the earliest, and all necessary medical help is provided to those who've been injured. We hear that 90 plus people at this point are still receiving medical help. Some of them remain critical, which is extremely worrying. So we're all, of course, praying and keeping our fingers crossed that we don't see the death toll climbing up further. I just want to put the focus on one particular image that came in. Visuals of a man, and we'll put that out on our screens, of a man carrying his dead child in his arms in the hospital. This was, in fact, when you had officials visiting the hospital, taking stock of the situation. That's the footage there on the top right of your screens. It breaks your heart that this is what happened. It breaks your heart that this is what families have had to go through. And if you, we play out that audio for you in that footage. He's screaming at the official, saying, sir, you know, he's at a loss of words on what to do in this kind of a situation. He brings his dead child in his arms to the officials there. The officials are numbed. You can see it in the expression on their faces. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. This man there holds his dead child in his arms, asking for answers. He says, I didn't take my child there. I was at work. And that's the unfortunate reality, that there were so many little children there stuck in the melee because they were there living in their homes. There were huts on the side. That particular footage particularly breaks your heart. It tells you what exactly played out last night in Karur and why there's a need for accountability, for answers, for who's to blame for that man's dead child. On the right of your screens, live images from Karur. Udhayanidhi Stalin, the Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister, paying his respects to those who've died in the stampede. He's meeting with the family members as well, expressing his condolences. Remember that the Tamil Nadu government has announced an ex-gratia of 10 lakh rupees for the family members as well who've lost their loved ones. No money, obviously, can make up for the loss that they've suffered. Their lives have changed forever, for the worse, taken a turn for the worse. And what's happened in Karur is something that unfortunately Tamil Nadu will never forget. 39 lives lost. Let's play out for you what's happening there with Udhayanidhi Stalin. You can see the family very, very emotional. In Karur, visible in those images, with every leader who's visiting, they're trying, of course, to console family members who've had an unforgettable night right now, who've lost their loved ones, and there are so many attempts being made to console them. But what words can you offer in the face of such a tragedy? What words can you offer as solace to people who've lost little children, to people who've lost their loved ones simply from attending a political rally, simply from attempting to catch a glimpse of their favorite star. How heartbreaking is that? Udayanidhi Stalin, they're trying to console a man who's lost his loved one. His life has changed forever. Nothing can bring back what he's lost in the last few hours. You can see Udayanidhi also visibly emotional, understandably so, in the face of this tragedy. The Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister was also headed for a holiday, cut it short, cancelled it as soon as this news came in. He's made it a point to be there with these family members. But these images are heartbreaking, really, to see, and words do not suffice, essentially, to describe what's happening here, to describe what these families are currently going through. And just imagine so many children who've died, whose lives have been cut so brutally short. And that's what you see on the left of your screens, that even for ministers, this is a lot to handle. That's Anbil Mahesh, they're breaking down, unable to understand how to console these people, how to really offer them any words of solace, because there's honestly nothing left to say when they've lost little children. So many lives cut brutally short as a result of what? That's the question we're all asking. Was it a result of negligence? Was it a result of apathy? Hopefully we'll have answers to that in the coming days. But for now, we want to put the focus on the scale of the tragedy that we've witnessed here. 39 lives lost, and for each of these families, we want you to understand the grief that they felt, just to feel the outrage that we're feeling right now, that something like this has even happened in Karur, that something like this was allowed to happen, that a stampede could break out in which 10 children, viewers, a child as young as 2 has lost his life. And in such a circumstance, no amount of outrage, no amount of anger can suffice, because none of us can really feel what family members of those who've died have felt. None of us can really understand what they're going through right now. Imagine through the night, they've been at their hospital trying to understand what's happened to their loved one, to relatives who were there at that stampede. And today they've been handed back the bodies of the deceased, of their family member. What was meant to be a celebration, what was meant to be a moment of them seeing their idol, has turned into this incident of a stampede breaking out in this manner, of their lives changing forever. We're going to continue getting you those images of the Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin, visibly emotional himself, understandably so, as he met with these family members, each of them breaking down, crying in sheer desperation, unable to understand what to do in such a situation. These are images from the mortuary in Karur, which is where, in fact, these family members are with the bodies. They've been handed over formally. The identification process has also been completed. But the image that none of us are going to forget in the near future is the one that you see on the left of your screens. I keep coming back to that, and the reason for that is because it's left so many of us numb. Just seeing that man with his child in his arms, unable to process the emotions that he's going through, unable to understand who he should be asking questions of. And that's the reality of what we're seeing right now.